Hello Reformers and welcome back to A Clash of Kings. Now I do realize that there is a new version of A Clash of Kings recently released. Unfortunately I will not be able to update to it unless I want to lose this save game, and that has happened many times in the past. It's probably the reason why many of the series do just stop suddenly, because I upgrade to the next version or there's just another version and I just don't really want to update to it at that point. That's probably the case. But anyway, for this, we're going to be going on an additional killing spree, sieging spree, whatever you want to say. And we're going to hope to take, what is this place? Fyhrr or something? Yeah, I didn't even bother to know what it is, because there are so many siege layouts with siege towers now. And this is one of the few in the general vicinity where I've actually been able to get something going here, because obviously I don't really want to wait that long for a siege tower. Maybe I will after this, I don't know, but really, I mean, I kind of just wanted to expand Dragonstone's territory as quickly as possible, and that's not a very big drop. That's the reason why I was just not really caring about falling there. And maybe we can get a couple of... okay, maybe not. Oh, hello. What are you doing there? Are you serious? Could you just leave me alone, please? That would be very nice. But yes, hopefully we'll be able to, as I've said, consolidate this area for Dragonstone, and then we will be in a much better position. But that is easier said than done. Very easy to say it, but getting it done is much a different story, because there are just too many vassals running around right now. I mean, and I'm not even talking about Westerland's vassals. There are just so many. There was one from the what is it now? The Crake Claw or Crack Claw, or I don't even know what they're called now. But the sort of light blue faction nearby to us at the moment. Obviously, they're not really aggressive towards us, right now. But that could change. That could change pretty quickly. So obviously, we need to be a bit careful about that kind of thing. But, yeah, I guess the one thing I have to be very careful of is running in here and potentially being absolutely murdered, surrounded, and, yes, that would not be good. But hopefully, yeah, everything will work out just fine, because, as I say, if we can consolidate and take those castles in the nearby territories, then I think we should have a really good shot, actually, at taking the towns as well. Obviously, King's Landing is in general a pretty harsh siege, because as far as I'm aware there are, I think, near to 300 gold cloaks in there, I think. And gold cloaks obviously do have that explosive weapon with them, and that's obviously going to be very difficult to deal with. I mean, I think I could probably deal with it if I was a king of a faction. So in other words, if I still had the company size, the max army size that we had previously when we started our own faction, it would have made so much difference. I mean, I think I probably would have been able to maybe take King's Landing with that. But obviously it really depends how many forces they have in there right now. Because I think right now they have... I think they have about 650. And I think with the increased party size, I probably could have done it. But again, that's really just a matter of speculation, because I don't really know. Because maybe in this version they've changed the gold cloaks or something, and maybe there's increased damage, or maybe they've got more of them, or I don't know. But yeah, we do need to be a bit careful of that. So yeah, otherwise we're doing pretty well here, actually. I'm not dying too much. I mean, that's funny though, because I am wearing really good armor, and theoretically I should really just be at full HP all the time, but I like to get in there, I like to have a little bit of fun. I like to get stuck in and, slash away with the overhead slashes and all kinds of things right there. And wow, I'm actually kind of surprised that there are so many. Well, yeah, we have eliminated 177 of them, but I'm very surprised that there's so many of them here. I thought there was about 180 total, but apparently there's much more than that. Interesting. Okay, well, who am I to say? Who am I to say where the peasants can and cannot be? I mean, there are so many of them after all. I mean, look at them. There's just peasant after peasant after peasant. Well, Well, I find that kind of amusing, me saying that, because I actually do have quite a few peasants in my army at the moment, thanks to being able to rescue them all the time. Ooh, that was some pain right there from that Dragonstone Household Guard. Did you see that huge two-handed sword just coming down on that peasant? Wow. I can only say that he's probably in many, many pieces right now. Anyway, there you go. 14 renown, and thanks to... What? Are they all Riverlands? No, they're all Westerlands. How do we only have wounded? That's crazy. That is crazy. We didn't lose anyone? I'm very surprised. Well, I killed 81. That's pretty impressive for a siege offense, right? I mean, it's been a while since Elias has actually gotten that kill count without being in a siege defense. Ah, well, okay. So we could take this guy prisoner. I'm going to be doing that. And we can free that guy, who is part of the Riverlands, apparently. And we can also get some Kingswood Outlaws and Raider Skirmishers. That sounds good to me. Alright, so... Ah, yes. Okay, so... I actually did level up in the previous episode, and I spec'd it into inventory management and charisma, so we now have 14 charisma. Yes, I know. We're actually doing pretty well in terms of the charisma department, and hopefully we'll be able to get an additional point in leadership very, very soon, because then that will, in turn, reduce our weekly wages. So, as you can see here, we have taken Hayford. I'm probably not going to be requesting that this be awarded to us. I don't really see the necessity in that. And there you go. So we took it. And, okay, so here's the thing. I'd love to be able to take one of these. So I think I'm probably going to go to Antlers first. I actually did say that I was going to take Antlers in the previous episode first, as far as I'm aware, as far as I remember. And, well, I took a look at it, coming from Darry, and it has a siege tower, so that's the reason why I put it off. So let's just wait here for a little bit, see what's going to go down, and if there's no one around here that wants to pop up and show themselves, then who am I to say, oh my. Yes, I am a person to say oh my, apparently, because this guy is annoying. He's very annoying. He has decided to just pop up at the worst possible moments. Absolutely. And there are so many of our companions leveling up, aren't they? Oh, yes. Okay, so let's get some more agility here for Carver. And then he can just continue. He's got no athletics. He literally has 0 athletics. I am ashamed. Really. Wow, he should have much more athletics, really. Okay. Well... I suppose our pride and joy is truly Gurnier, though, so I guess it would be... I mean, he does have athletics at the very least, so... Yeah, I don't really need to worry about Carver too much. I mean, Carver is an absolute monster, so I suppose it's not really a big deal. Alright, so I need to get down to Storm's End and prevent Tarth from taking it. Now, do bear in mind, however, that Stony Sept is currently under siege, but that's not my problem anymore. Well, it kind of is, because I'm going to lose my ironworks. Alright, so there is a very, very important reason why we are here in Stony Sept Siege. Apart from the fact that they only have about 67 units in here and 1 vassal, I am not sure, by the way, how many units the vassal himself has. So, in other words, he could have another 200, which is probably going to be pretty bad for our well-being, but we're going to try our best anyway. And, oh yeah, by the way, Storm's End did stop being under siege, so I can only assume that the guy decided against it. Not entirely sure why. Maybe one of our vassals turned up or something along those lines. But in any case, I headed back to Stony Sept. And, well, I was late. I was too late to stop them from taking it, but at the very least I can take it back. I know that we've done this siege before, but there's a very important reason that we do this, with the exception of the ironworks, of course, because the ironworks is very important for us. But other than that, the important reason is that there are 2 of our vassals in here, as far as I'm aware. 2 of our vassals and 118 other units. Now you can imagine the benefits of this, because obviously I do have... Ow. Really? Could you just not? Thank you. But yes, at the moment I have quite a few peasants, you know? I have quite a few peasants in my army, and I would quite like to replace those. And so what we're going to try and do is upgrade. Yes, like the Cybermen, we are going to upgrade ourselves and hopefully, in a less gruesome manner, gain additional power as a result. And we might be able to then, maybe, just maybe, tackle Duskendale or something along those lines, because it is, I think it might be doable if we have a good enough army force. Because Duskendale, as you've seen, did you actually see that? Were you here for that scouting? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it has 640 plus a vassal inside. So that's obviously a bit of a difficulty. But obviously if we have a good enough army, that shouldn't really factor in and we should be okay. But as it stands, let's just make sure that we actually take this back. Now, I'm not entirely sure who the vassal was, or indeed if it was a vassal. Maybe it was Mace Tyrell himself. That would not be very nice for him to be here. It would be great if we could... Oh no, it seems like we've already won. Have we? That is very, very fast. There we go, take out that guy. Yes, we have already won. Whoa, the vassal in question may have left. Because I saw him go into the garrison, but he's probably left. He's probably left because there's literally only 81 here. And there was 67 before, so I don't know what he did. Did he just add a bunch, or... I don't know, I don't even know. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so... No, we did actually eliminate a vassal. Look at that. There was actually a vassal here. Okay, so we eliminated 39. Our companions are doing a pretty good job at killing their own fair share nowadays as well. And as you can see, we have freed this guy. And we've also freed this guy. That is pretty cool. And now, this is why I wanted to do this. Look at all of the wonderful Dragonstone units. I mean, yeah, they only have 2 Vanguards. They actually have some Stormlander units as well, but I'm not going to be taking those. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be swapping out these peasants. I kind of feel a bit bad for doing that because they are really good sometimes. They can kind of surprise you, I guess. But otherwise, we're kind of needing to get a bit of an upgrade here, so... We're going to try our best to do that. Okay, so some Dragonstone Man-at-Arms, some Elite Man-at-Arms. Could take some Stormlander Knights, Driftmark Spearmen, I suppose, are pretty decent. 49 Peasants is actually pretty good. But, yeah, it's more for filler of your garrisons more than anything, I suppose. Let's take some Archers. We don't really have that many Archers, do we? So it's probably a good idea to do so. And there you go, that's it. I can't take anyone else. I could take some Stormlands units. Maybe I should do that. So let's swap out some of the random units that we have. And then we'll get the Stormlander Vanguards, Stormlander Knights, and then we have 2 spaces. Oh, there we go. Elite. Oh, wow. I'm actually missing some of these guys as well. Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good for us to do that then, I suppose. Because... we would have otherwise left without getting those elite man-at-arms, so that's nice. Okay, so I think our army is a little bit better now, and I am gaining huge amounts of money in this loot right here. Okay, I am going to request this, but only because he can then give us an additional little bit of money if he doesn't give it to us. So, and I don't even need to stay here, really. I mean, not particularly, do I? So, yes, let's just see what happens. Maybe we can participate in a bit of a... field battle, because it's been a while since we've participated in one of those, so maybe we could do that. But first, let's go and sell. Wow, we've got a lot of junk on us, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, so let's do that. There we go. Sell this and that. Okay, so that is good. I want to keep the heraldic heavy plate armor, thank you very much, because that is really good. Maybe we can give it to someone. Maybe who could actually use an upgrade here? Gurney is doing fine. Martin could use an upgrade. You can see that. I mean, yes, look at that. He's using a crude chainmail body piece, which is not very good. Not very good at all. So there we go. That's good. That's a nice upgrade for him. And we've finally gotten rid of it as well because it's clogging up our inventory. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get Alan a little bit more in agility here, a little bit more in athletics. And Lineria, okay, what are we going to do with you? Well, I suppose she's already got maxed out power draw, maxed out weapon master. The only thing to do is just to increase her iron flesh a little bit, I suppose, because then that's going to make it easier for her to survive those stray arrows and bolts coming toward her. Now we have 5,200, that's pretty nice. 5,200 in money, that is. And we are now going to be up against one of the Freys. Alright, so how many, what is actually, oh yes, okay, so if you don't know, when you play another mod that has a different battle size, it kind of pays to make sure that you're not using that setting, because if they scale differently, like for example, I'm playing A World of Ice and Fire. That's the other mod I'm playing on the channel at the moment, and it has a different scaling in terms of its battle size. So the max battle size is 750, and the minimum is 150. So I, being a sensible person, decided, hey, you know what, let's just raise it a little bit to 250, because it was 150, which is the base value. I raised it to 250, and obviously, in a Clash of Kings, the maximum army size is 150. Unless you change it in the game files or something along those lines. So usually it's 150 for me, because, you know, all these mods changing it, I can't actually use a custom value unless I want to, you know, keep changing it every single time, which I don't really want to do. So anyway, we have less units on the battlefield, so I'm going to change that real quick. There we go, that's actually helped us out now, because we do get a couple more reinforcements. We have 21 cavalry on the battlefield, but the problem with that is now that we have separated forces. But this is actually pretty cool, because it's not every day that you can actually separate your forces in such a specific manner. So maybe it's going to be pretty fun to see what happens as a result, because there are enemies over to the left here, and there are enemies over to the sort of center right position as well. So maybe it would do us well to just charge in with our cavalry. I mean, I obviously don't have a horse, but maybe my cavalry charging in would make a big difference. Can you just charge? I have told you to charge it. What are they doing? Are they... Did I tell them to charge, or did I tell them to follow me or something? Because they seem to just be winding around all the time. They don't seem to be making a beeline for the opponent, which is strange in itself. I actually don't know what's going on there, but let's do a nice jump and thrust. Ah! No. Okay. Yeah, never mind. We weren't able to get into range for the jump and thrust, but that's okay. We'll have another opportunity. I will make sure of it, yes. Ooh, they have some rather decent weapons. Could you not... I was gonna say, could you not use that on me? Of course. Yeah, these are the only guys that can actually inflict killing blows, as far as I'm aware, on the Riverland side, with the exception of the crossing spearmen, of course. But I think that's it, yeah. Well, obviously, he's not exactly the most powerful vassal ever, is he? So he's going to die pretty easily, but there you go. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So, Stony Sept is now ours once again. We have a much better army. We've upgraded ourselves somewhat. We've given some new armor to one of our companions. And we also took something. So, overall, a pretty successful episode. Not too bad. Is there anything else we can do here, though? Well, share it with your men. There was literally nothing to share. Alright, so yeah. The only other thing I suppose we could do is launch an attack against Antlers, but again, that is a siege tower, so that's going to take a long time to build. Shall we... Ah, Hayford is under siege. Let us go. Let us travel very quickly. Oh no. You have decided to bring order to your holdings by introducing a new law. After consulting your courtiers, you decide to outlaw the moon, outlaw freckles, outlaw whores, outlaw gibbets, or whatever, outlaw flaying. Let's outlaw flaying. There we go, yes, everyone's rejoicing at the news because they don't like flaying, apparently. No, who would? Yes. Alright, so 6 renown. 6 renown we gained from that. Pretty nice. Okay, so let's take a look. Who is here? No one. No one is here. Okay, well, I guess that's a pretty decent end to this episode. We do have someone over here, but he's following some village farmers. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.